Picture this. It's a random Tuesday. You finally have exactly $100 sitting in your account that you don't need for rent, food, or your phone bill. And you think, okay, this is it, my investing era. So you open TikTok or YouTube and immediately see turn $100 into $10,000 in 30 days. Buy this one crypto before it explodes. This penny stock is the next Amazon. And you're sitting there thinking, I just want to do this the smart way without lighting my money on fire. Because here's the truth. $100 is enough to start, but it's also the exact amount people waste chasing shortcuts. And when beginners lose their first $100, they often don't just lose the money, they lose the confidence and momentum to keep investing. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to invest your first $100 the smart way, with a simple plan designed to protect you from the most common beginner mistakes. My name is Jack. If you're someone who doesn't know how to invest your first $100, make sure to hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Most people think the first $100 is about finding the perfect investment, like there's some magical stock or crypto you need to pick, but that's not the game. Your first $100 isn't about picking winners. It's about building the system, turning yourself into someone who invests consistently, calmly, and automatically. Because the biggest difference between people who build wealth and people who don't isn't intelligence. It's behavior, and behavior destroys beginners. Fear, excitement, ego, and impatience. Research from Dalbar showed that in 2024, the average equity investor returned about 16.5%, while the S&P 500 returned over 25%. That gap isn't because investors are stupid. It's because they buy and sell at the wrong time. So this video will do two things. First, show you the simple plan for your first $100. Second, help you avoid the psychological traps that cause people to quit. Step 0. One question before you invest. Before you invest your first $100, ask yourself one question. If an unexpected expense happens, will you need this money back immediately? Because if the answer is yes, investing might not be step 1. The Federal Reserve found that when faced with a $400 emergency expense, only about 63% of adults could cover it with cash or savings. Even more surprising, 18% said the largest emergency expense they could handle was under $100. So if a surprise bill forces you to sell your investment at the worst moment, investing didn't help you, it hurt you. Which leads to the framework I want you to use. The 3-bucket framework. Think of your first $100 as 3 possible buckets. Bucket 1, safety. Bucket 2, high interest debt. Bucket 3, actual investing. Let's go through them. Bucket 1, safety. If you have 0 emergency savings, the smartest first move might be putting that $100 into a savings account. I know what you're thinking. That's not investing, but it is investing in your ability to stay invested later. Because when financial stress hits, your brain doesn't calmly analyze long-term returns. It says, I need cash now. This reaction is called loss aversion. We feel losses more intensely than gains. And that's what causes beginners to panic sell at the worst possible time. Even a small emergency buffer can prevent that. Bucket 2, the guaranteed return. If you have high interest credit card debt, paying that down can actually be the best investment. For example, if your credit card charges 25% interest, paying it off is like earning a guaranteed 25% return. And the stock market does not guarantee anything close to that. So if you're carrying high interest debt, your first $100 might go there. Not because investing is bad, but because you're trying to fill a bucket that currently has a hole in it. Bucket 3, actual investing. Now let's assume you have at least a small buffer, don't have urgent high interest debt, and can leave the money alone. Now we invest. And I'm going to be blunt, your first $100 should not go into individual stocks, meme coins, or penny stocks. Could you get lucky? Sure, but that's not investing, that's lottery behavior. The smart approach is much simpler. Buy the entire market at a low cost. For beginners, that usually means a broad index fund like a total market index fund, an S&P 500 index fund, or a target date index fund. Why? Because even professionals struggle to beat the market consistently. In fact, research comparing active funds to the market has shown that over long periods, the vast majority of professional managers underperform broad market indexes. So if professionals struggle to beat the market, a beginner probably won't do it with a $100 trade. The exact steps. Here's what actually doing this looks like. Step 1, choose the account. In many countries, the order usually looks like this. Employer retirement match, tax-advantaged retirement account, regular brokerage account. The exact names vary by country, but the principle is simple. Use the lowest fee and most tax-efficient account available. Step 2, choose one fund. Don't overcomplicate this. Pick one diversified index fund, either total market, S&P 500, or a target date fund. A target date fund is basically a pre-built portfolio that automatically adjusts over time. Step 3, invest the $100. Many brokerages allow fractional shares, meaning you can invest even if a full share costs more than $100. So you buy the fund, and that's it. You're invested. Step 4, automate the next contribution. This is the real secret. The first $100 barely matters. The habit does. So automate something small. $10 per week, $25 per week, or $50 per month. Automation beats motivation every time. Historically, US stocks have returned around 10% annually before inflation over very long periods. After inflation, a rough long-term estimate is around 6 to 7% real returns. If you invest $100 once and never add another dollar, at 7% growth, in 30 years, that becomes about $760. Not life-changing, right? But watch what happens when you build the habit. If you invest $25 per week for 30 years, at the same 7% return, you end up with roughly $120,000. Not because you were a genius, because you were consistent. The silent killer, fees. Fees are boring, which is exactly why they're dangerous. Some actively managed funds charge around 1% per year, while many index funds charge around 0.05%. That difference looks tiny, but over decades, it compounds. In simple examples, a low-fee fund can end up over 30% larger than a high-fee fund over long periods, which is why low-cost index funds are usually the smartest place to start. Why people still mess this up? If investing is this simple, why doesn't everyone do it? Because your brain works against you. Your brain wants excitement. Index funds feel boring. Trading feels exciting. Your brain hates being wrong. So when an investment drops, people panic sell. Your brain wants control. Picking stocks feels like control. Buying the market feels passive. But ironically, doing less is often the winning strategy. Here's the simple plan. If you have no emergency savings, start a buffer. If you have high interest debt, pay that down. If you can leave the money alone, invest in a low-cost, broad index fund. Then, automate future contributions. And most importantly, keep it boring. Keep it consistent. Most people never invest their first $100. Not because they can't, because they keep waiting for the perfect time. But the people who build wealth don't rely on perfect timing. They build better systems. So here's your challenge. In the next 24 hours, do one of these. Put $100 into an emergency buffer. Invest $100 into a broad index fund. Or set up the account so you're ready. Then automate your next contribution, even if it's just $10. Because one day, you'll look up and realize something surprising. The money isn't the biggest thing that changed. You are. If this helped, hit subscribe, hit the thumbs up, and comment. I'm starting with my first $100. And I'll know you're actually doing it, not just thinking about it.